Today is the 9th of May, the Day of Europe. We are launching an appeal, the 9th of May appeal, and this is an appeal with a roadmap for a new European renaissance. Why are we coming with this appeal? Well, because we feel, as many other European citizens, we feel that it's true that the European Union is confronted with many crises, but we also think that there is the potential to overcome this crisis if there is the political will. And now we are understanding that this political will needs to have a clear voice coming from citizens, European citizens themselves. So we belong to this active European citizenship. We started with a group of Europeans who are engaged in making the best of European solutions. We are coming from many different European countries. We are coming from different political areas. We are coming from very different professional backgrounds. But there is something which is uniting us, is the real belief that Europe deserves and can have a much better future. So that's why the roadmap we are proposing now is a very clear roadmap. We believe that the first thing we need to address is this ongoing refugees crisis, where Europe needs to respond with its strong tradition of human rights, human dignity. Yes, this is possible to manage this crisis like that. And we need to make sure that refugees will be received and then integrated according to good human standards. But of course, we also need to address the root causes of this crisis by fighting the war, it is taking place, and working with our neighbor countries to bring not only peace but development. Then we are pushing for a second priority, which is to ensure security for European citizens, security in the external front, but also in the internal front. And this means a real cooperation of our police and our justice services in such a way that we can count also on a free mobility area in Europe. This is indeed one of the main assets of European integration. The third priority for us is really to make sure that recovery, economic and social recovery, will be there and for good. And we are pushing for investments, turn to the areas of the future, the energy transition, the digital revolution, the health sector, the creative industries. And this means also to prepare people, in particular young people, for these new kind of jobs. We also know that if all member states are supposed to implement these priorities for investment and job creation, it's crucial to overcome the ongoing Eurozone crisis. And this means that we need to have a Eurozone crisis enabling all members, all countries, to improve their economic and social standards. And we are claiming that for that we need to complete the existing banking union. And more than that, we need to build up a real fiscal capacity for the Eurozone. We need to have a budget complementing what can no longer be done by national budgets. Our fifth priority is about Erasmus, because we think that Erasmus is the most successful program in Europe. But we want to extend Erasmus opportunities also for teenagers to the secondary education, because we believe this is the best way to create a common sense of belonging, of European identity. And finally, our last priority is about democracy and citizenship, European citizenship. And the first step for this is to make sure that all European citizens, they have real information about their rights and their duties as European citizens. And this should start from education. And then we need to make sure that their choices will be respected when it comes to the election of the President of the European Commission and also the action plan he or she are supposed to implement for the years to come. So these are fundamental principles of European democracy we want to be respected. Well, it's not possible to implement all these priorities if you don't have the proper financial means, and that's why we put on the top a much more effective and fairer tax policy, because we cannot accept the tax evasion as is now being unveiled by the Panama Papers, but we also know that we need to go much farther with the community budget. We need a stronger community budget to support all these priorities, and we believe that this is the next battle for European citizens to assert their priorities. So we have just launched this appeal. The appeal is available for all of you to sign up, and I'm just inviting you to sign up and to join us, because European institutions can do a lot, and they should. But if you want us, and if you want these institutions to deliver real European solutions, we need to have active European citizenship. So this is an invitation for you, and you should join this movement, the 9 May movement.